have some paper towel, and I'm going to go through a lot of this, I know. So I have a little ultramarine here, and I just want to see if I mix that with my cad yellow here. Now it's soaking into the paper, so here you can see it's still too blue. I am looking to see if this will make a true neutral gray. Okay, so there it is. That's pretty darn neutral. So I would say that my cad orange is actually the true complement of the ultramarine blue. But since I'm here, I'm just going to test the organic orange color. This is also a color called vat orange. So here's my ultramarine blue, and here is my orange. So I'm going to mix those together to see what happens in the middle. Now I've gone too far, but can you see how violet that is? Let's add a little more blue to that mix. And there it is, that's too blue. So if I add more red, now I'm probably just taking too much paint each time, but it's going through a purple, it's not going through a gray. And that's how you can tell what a true complement is when you mix them to see if they mix to neutral gray. Now personally, I'm not really interested in neutral gray. I'm much more interested in these more subtle colors. Let's see what happens if we mix this a little more onto the orange side here. It's actually looking like a red here. Okay, that's quite a beautiful color combination, and I could definitely make a painting out of this color combination because it lends itself to such beautiful off true color colors here. So there's it with more orange. So that's a gorgeous range of color, and that complement might give me something much more visually exciting than this complement. But I want to show you, I will use this since I've proved that these are actually exact complements. I just wanted you to know that you don't always have to have pure complements. Okay, you can have what's called a near complement. So I'm just going to scooch my orange off of this paper and put it onto my palette. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start mixing these, and I am going to put the pure color at one end. Okay, wash out my brush, dry it. The pure color at the other end. And I want to save, actually I probably didn't save enough room for this. I will paint that over. I'm just going to put this more in the middle because I need room to get lighter and to get darker here. And these are acrylics, so I can easily paint over them. Okay, so there's my cad yellow in the middle. Now I can take each of these and run these with white and run these with black. So I have already, actually I haven't done the cad orange yet, so let's do that. Let's mix the cad orange and let's start to add white to this. And I like to put my white in a line so that I'm always going into clean parts of paint. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of white. Now that seems like it's a pretty big jump, so I'm just going to grab a little more orange here, and I'm going to paint that there. Then I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to just remove the extra paint, but I'm not going to wash the brush. I'm going to grab some more white, put it right in there, and you will see that color is coming out of my brush. Okay, which is why I don't bother washing the brush. So there is a next color. Again, squidge that out, and some more white. Wipe it out, and some more white. Now that's not much of a difference, so I'm going to add more white again. Paint over that, and then I'm going to wipe this out really good. Get a whole hunk of white and put it in there. You can see it's still coming off pink, but it's just a lighter, very pale value. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same thing now with the ultramarine blue, and I'm going to show you because it's a dark color, it's actually going to show up a little bit better than the orange did when I do this, okay? So I'm going to take the blue and put it down here, a little bit of clean yellow, and mix that in, okay, like that. And then I'm going to paint it over here. Now, if it didn't make much difference, it's because it's going on transparently that it didn't make much difference, because you can see the white of the paper underneath here. So I'm going to wipe my brush off and go in and get some more white. And I'm going to leave some of that first color on my palette so that I can, instead of using up the whole thing, I'm going to be able to compare this value with that value. And if I need to make it a little darker, I can just scooch some of that down into it. So, and put some of that there. Again, pinch and wipe that brush out, grab some more white. Again, not putting it in the middle, but putting it over here. There's still blue in my brush. You can see that as I'm hammering my brush down on here, more blue is coming out. Here. That looks quite dark against the white, and it looks quite light against this gray mixing paper, which is a really important thing that you notice, that color looks different based on what value it's next to. Okay, so I'm going to get some more white here, there, wipe the brush out. Actually, I have some, that's a dirty paper towel. I'll get another one. Wipe that out, get some more white, putting it in the end here. So you can see that there's a gradual step in value here. Okay, and as I look here, there's still a long way to go before it's white. So I'm going to pinch that off, take another load of white. And as long as I can see a color shift as I move this way, now that looks very white to me. When I put it on my paper though, you'll see it's still blue. Okay, you can still see that there's a blue tinge to it, just a little bit there. So the way I want you to mix these is so that you can see what came before, rather than mixing into the entire whole puddle, because then you have no idea where you went last time. So I'm just going to scrape this off so that I can reuse this palette paper. And if you wet your, even if you're using palette paper, if you wet it, whoops, there went my water bottle, then you can, you know, still come back and use this paper palette more. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run between these two. Actually, while I'm here, I'll do the adding black later. I think I'll just stick with the top half for right now. That way my white's not all going to dry out. So again, I'm going to start with the lighter color here, and I'm going to add just a tiny bit of that blue to it. Again, seeing if there's any difference in the color. I love these squirt bottles because it's really easy to get a bunch of paint out quickly. So there is a little bit of blue added. Now when I look between there, I wonder, could there be a place between these two? So let's try again, and this time not pick so much. So can I tell between these two that there's a significant difference? That's what I'm looking for. So let's just add some there. Now I have a change here. So I'm going to put that down and see here if I can see a change, okay? So I'm working with this pile. Okay, I'm going to grab some white into this pile, again leaving some of that pure color there. And I can see a value shift here. So I'm going to each of these colors that I'm mixing, I'm going to make each of these colors lighter, okay, with the white. So again, wipe it out, get some more white till you can see that there's a difference, and really mix it with your brush, because there's all kinds of paint in the ferrule here. You can see that I'm really pushing down on my brush so that I can make sure that I get the color out. Again, squeezing this, adding some more white to make sure that I can see a difference, and I'm mixing right into the ferrule. If you did this with a palette knife, that would be good. You wouldn't have to keep wiping off your brush, but I like the fact that some of that paint is actually carried in my brush. Just makes it a little more exact. And then my last one, because I can see that that is not white yet, my last one is here. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off my brush and try to get all the paint out of my brush in the water. So now we're mixing this color, which is a little browner, and you can see that there is a difference here, which is great. So now I'm going to take a little bit of white into that and leave some of that other color that was there before. Now this is too watery. I didn't squeeze the water out of my brush very well, so I'm going to start this pile again. I'm going to leave a little bit there so I know what I'm aiming for. So that's not it yet. A little bit more blue. There, that's the color that I had before. So now I have a fresh batch of color. I can go over this with no water in my brush. I'm going to squeeze the paint out, take some white, mix it in and leave some of this other color, the very first color back there. Okay, now that probably goes in this position. So squeeze this out again, get some more white, really work that into the brush. If it's too much of a transition, I'll just bring some of that color from the edge. That's what should be here. Okay, we'll cover up the previous thing. Wipe out my brush again, add more white, like this, squeeze out, more white. Okay, squeeze out and add more white. So that's not a change enough, so I need to add more white paint to that. There, that's better. So I'm just going to carry on, and I'm going to finish making the rest of the tints there. When you add white to a color, it's called a tint, and I'll be back in a sec.